Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Let Us Talk to You. Yeah, I am Tyler Peters with the usual suspects, Bobby from Bobby's Breakdowns and Xero representing Xero News. How are we doing, gentlemen? It's another just exciting edition, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it
Besides it monsooning outside my house in the last 2 days, I'm doing great.
Yeah, it's a bit wet here as well, actually.
Yeah,
So,
weather's kind of wild.
Yeah, the weather is crazy. I concur, but just glad to hear that you two are doing just fantastic. Hey, let's get right into the wrestling conversation, shall we? I mean, AEW becoming PG. What is everybody's initial reaction to this list of moves that are banned or need clearance? I mean, who wants to go first? This is talking about interesting, to say the least, with AEW possibly ushering in a new era.
it's okay. I might as well go first then a minute.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it's going to be the end of it. I've always said about 2024, it's probably going to be the end of the program because this is going to draw away a hell of a lot of viewership now from a lot of people. Because the thing that obviously drew them to AEW was it was unique, it was different from WWE, and now all those things that have made them different from WWE have been banned. So it's that's the massive difference in it, really. So yeah, what do you think, Bobby? What do you?
So the one thing AEW had going for them, in my humble opinion, that beat WWE was they were more edgy than WWE, more willing to do blood, willing to curse, willing to flip the bird. But if you're going to take that away, and again, I don't know the exact rules. I don't know if some of that stuff is okay still. But it's a mistake, I think, because that's the leg up they had on WWE that WWE wasn't going to touch again. Like they had like Attitude Era vibes, and it's cool, and that's the great thing about AEW. But if they kind of sink to this PG level, like I don't know, I don't think it will work. I hope for wrestling's sakes and all them sakes, it works, but I don't know. I just don't see it going well.
Do you feel like they were pressured, gentlemen, because of what happened to Sting, maybe the Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay spot, and a lot of what happened before, not even those two incidents, but just, and here's another thing to think about too. It affects the wrestlers in ring style because a lot of these guys are they're risk takers. So that would be another scenario. So yeah, talk to us about that. What's your impressions going forward?
Wow.
I mean, oh, sorry.
Go on. You go on.
I mean, Omega getting dropped on his head was just a travesty. Thankfully, he's okay. The Sting thing, I don't know what they were thinking, letting a 65, whatever.
I think 64, but close.
60, yeah. Letting him jump off a ladder. Now, if you wanted to have Darby Allin do that, I'm all for it. Like, Darby's just Darby. He does crazy stuff, but Sting, and come on. You should have put the ladder on the end of the ring, and he would have jumped and would have hit both tables, no problem. But it's like, man, and I also think Warner Brothers can't keep their hands out of these things because I'm a massive DC superhero fan, and how many times has Warner Brothers just ruined that? They can't get it off the ground, so I think they're trying to put their hands in it, and it's not going to work.
Well,
Xero?
Talking about that one, obviously what Bobby was saying about Warner Brothers and stuff. The main reason why this has come down, from what I believe, is the new CEO or something, or the one who's actually now dealing with AEW directly.
Zaslav?
No, not Zaslav. No, it's somebody else. It's a woman. She's the new person who took over from the
Pam something?
Yeah, something like She was the old director of Discovery Channel, and she came over from Discovery, and she's very health and safety, and she's very health and safety conscious, and all of her programming and that is all PG. She doesn't appreciate anything kind of adult content related. So there was rumors when she took over that she was going to try and enforce this in, and now with their TV deals and that coming up, this seems she's obviously now to her and said, right, you want a renewal, this is what I want for it. And that seems to be the main reason behind it, in my eyes anyway.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. And do you feel like it's an overreaction to your point by, Warner Brothers Discovery? And is this kind of similar to how Turner was wanting to control more of the wrestling aspect, even though we're in a different era? Is this a little reminiscent even when during the Monday Night Wars when everything seemed good for WCW against WWE, but yet the advantage WWE had was it was a family promotion, if you think about it, compared to a television company owning wrestling. Do you see any parallels?
I do, yeah. I it's going again. It's basically, it's going to be however many years later it is, and I can see that now it's the same scenario over again. It's going to be the WCW thing again. They've this happened with Turner, where they took over control. They wanted, they brought in all this stuff, and like what you said, it was different to WWE, which made them unique. And now AEW's lost that uniqueness, so this is going to go down the WCW route. I can see it. Obviously, Bobby knows. Obviously, I try and hate on him and slag him off for a joke in that. But
trying.
Okay, yeah, trying to, yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, like what people have said, it's people's jobs and stuff like that. And obviously, yes, it would be a shame to obviously see them out of job, but I personally can see that that's the route it's going to go down. And it's, it's not just the money side of things. It's everything now. They're going to lose a lot of viewership from all of this going down, and that's then going to affect what they're going to get for money wise. It's going to affect obviously income coming in and for that, and it's going to go down the WCW route. I can sense it now. I really can. For it. What about you, Bobby?
So, what's that saying? There's too many cooks in the kitchen. I think that's Warner Brothers' biggest problem. I have my issues with Warner Brothers. I think they take anything slightly good and just ruin it. Now, they've done some great things, don't get me wrong. But I go back to the superhero thing, where it was just like there was a vision, and then they just put their hands in it and just messed it all up. And it's like they can't get out of their own way. And The Rock with Black Adam, Henry Cavill as Superman. Just like you brought Henry Cavill back when you told James Gunn he could do his own thing with Superman. So there's too many cooks in the kitchen. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing, and I think Warner always inserts themselves in the really good things or what can be really good and just ruins it. And I'm afraid that's going to happen here. I hope not, but.
Yeah, I think it's all a very compelling conversation, fellas. And two, I mean, Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, you got to think of the wrestlers that this style fits. I mean, it's definitely going to alter what they're able to do, or you would think so. Moving on, though, to some Judgment Day in NXT. Let me ask the panel here. Do you guys want to see more crossovers, not just with Judgment Day, but with the main roster in NXT? I mean, we've seen it already, but is there any that stand out outside of Judgment Day? And then we'll get to more Judgment Day kind of content here. And I'll go with you, Xero.
Yeah. Roman literally showing up on every single show and just destroying everybody. That's the best thing to do it, basically. Just going through, showing up on NXT, going through that roster, and just standing there and just going, acknowledge me. The boos will be horrendous from NXT, because that crowd's always loud. But it would just be funny to see. And that, and just literally, or Roman showing up on NXT and claiming every belt on there as well. He may as well claim the NXT Championship, claim the NXT Championship, claim the North American Championship. May as well go for it whilst he's still going for all his belts and stuff. And that will just to really wind up the IWC as well. That'd be funny to do.
Just to make them mad, it would be something if Roman did show up in NXT. Bobby, I mean, anybody you'd like to see down in NXT, maybe called up? I mean, you could look at it two different ways.
This is impossible, but send Brock Lesnar to NXT for a week. Come on. just pay him a lot of money, fly him into Florida. Come on. You want viewers? Put Brock Lesnar on. I'm trying to think of other dudes that haven't been down to NXT. I saw maybe who did I see? Oh, Gunther going back down there for a little while. That'd be cool. Not like anything crazy, but like a one-off, a crossover. McIntyre, that'd be cool. Edge,
Oh,
He's
Edge would
on-
be real cool. I mean, he did it a while back, but it would be
Yeah, that was
still
just
neat.
curious.
No, it would
Yeah.
still be neat. No, I agree with you.
Yeah. Let him wrestle like I don't even know. Heck, well, Breaker might kill him. Let him wrestle Hayes or something something. Yeah, Breaker is a dangerous worker.
Yeah,
not
either
not
one
in
of
that
those
way,
would be
but
great.
like
Yeah.
with Edge's neck issues and all that. But I do like it. I mean, it's more work for the talent because they gotta go to Raw, then they gotta fly into Florida. So the selfish part of me is saying yes, but I would also wouldn't mind these guys getting a day off. But if they're on the road anyway, might as well use them, you know? Send Cody to NXT forever. Then
Yeah,
release
and
him.
it makes sense because Dusty was there. Why not?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
There's
for
a lot of
sure.
background.
And then
I mean,
send
he
him to
meant
NXT. And then send him to NXT UK, and we'll be good to go.
Hey, what if Brock Lesnar, you book it, he just destroys everybody? I'm
Yep.
in agreement with you. Outside of, we saw Dirty Dom. Go ahead. I didn't mean
Sorry,
to cut
I just
you.
had a thought. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Breaker.
Oh, that would be a banger. With
Oh.
respect to Sheamus Zero, would you like to see Lesnar and Breaker?
Yeah, that would be a good match. That would be a really good match, actually, between those two.
And you have to have Braun win. You have to have Braun win.
Yeah, Brock would probably put him over if you paid him enough money for it. And that,
Oh, of
that's a
course,
nice
Brock will do anything if you pay him enough money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be terrific, for
Yeah.
sure.
Logan Paul. Logan Paul.
Yeah,
on
Logan
NXT.
Paul.
That would be interesting.
I mean, you've really got a lot of options on what you could do, whether it's main roster or NXT. But getting back to Judgment Day, I know we're going to get Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio challenging Wesley for the North American title. Had to throw that in there. And we've already seen Finn Balor, Carmelo Hayes on Raw. We've seen Balor and Damian Priest in the tag team match against Trick Williams and the NXT World Champion. Speaking of Carmelo Hayes, where does this leave Rhea Ripley? I mean, I would love to see her actually do a match. What do you think? Who would be the opponent if you were booking to put together with Rhea if she was going to do one of these matches?
I don't know, really.
I'm sorry. Did you say from NXT?
Yeah,
Or just
from
in
NXT.
Rhea versus. I feel like Stratton would be a good one. Stratton has blown away all my expectations. I thought she just got signed for her looks, but that girl can go in the ring, and I am impressed by her. Rhea Ripley versus Cora, they're both kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like punk rock, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
got an edge to him. Yeah, pardon the pun.
Yeah. Who else? There's a name. I know I'm missing people. Nikita Lyons. Obviously, she's not healthy right now, but that could be a good one.
Xero, who would you pick to face Rhea Ripley? And that was my bad. I meant to say NXT, Bobby.
I just want to make sure.
No, I'm glad you did.
Probably like what I don't know, actually. Maybe like what Bobby said. Maybe like Tiffany and stuff like that. Really, that could be a good one. Really,
Tiffany's really good in the ring. Let me look up the NXT roster.
Yeah, go ahead. I think you can really open this topic up a little more. There's a lot of what ifs. And with all due respect to Judgment Day, I wanted to see who else we might see be called up or who needs a return, like Baron Corbin, for example.
Oh, Gigi
and
Dolan.
Dana Brooke.
Sorry.
Yeah, Gigi Dolan. No, Gigi Dolan would make a interesting matchup with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Oh, Roxanne. Duh.
Yeah. Roxanne Perez. That'd be a good one.
And that's about it. Let her wrestle the men, though.
Does anybody need to come back to NXT like Baron Corbin?
I don't know, really.
Let me go through the list.
I know these are complex. I know, but it was ones to think about.
Oh, okay. Come back to NXT. All right, Garza and Carrillo are already there, so that's good. They have a tag match this week, right?
No, you would know. To be fair for the
Yeah,
audience, I don't get a chance to watch all the wrestling either, and I know these guys don't as well. But I'm just making sure I make the clarification that I don't all the time.
Back to NXT. Interesting. Nah, he's doing pretty good on the main roster right now. Ziggler?
I mean, I don't
He's
know.
already been
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
he's already done it.
I'm just thinking of guys that could that aren't really doing much right now.
Xero, any suggestions? I mean, to help us out?
Not really.
Cross, Karrion Cross.
Cross to come back.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, think about it.
Boom. That's my one. I think he is so lost on the main roster right now, and he hasn't done anything of note since he came back, at least that I can remember.
That's the one person that I'm really surprised under Triple H, especially with the game taking over creative, that he's got lost in the shuffle a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I had this one last year, but I'll still say it. Austin Theory.
Austin Theory.
He could be. He could be like the top dog there. Yeah, put him as the best heel.
Especially now, after the run he's had.
Yeah.
You can make him world champion too. So you could say he's a world champion without, not main roster, but he's still a world champ.
I think is a great observation. Xero. Austin Theory, what are some of those matches? Are these easier than possibly the Rhea Ripley scenario?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's possible, really. It's very possible, to be fair with you. Rhea, I don't really know, sort of whether it'd be better or whatever, really. Down there, who could you think of to face Austin Theory though?
Theory and Hayes, Theory and Dragunov.
That could do actually. Yeah, main roster sort of bank there, isn't it? Really. Yeah.
Theory.
What about Dijak?
Theory. They're both heels, but that.
Oh well, that's right. They are both heels.
I'm trying to not name the heels. That's the thing.
Yeah. No, you were so correct, and that was my fault. He is a bad guy.
No, you're good. Who's the North American? Wesley in Theory. There you go. Wesley in Theory. Theory and D'Angelo. Couldn't get the name out of my head.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of talent for him to work with. Now, will he ever go down to NXT? I don't know, but
so much potential. I mean, this was just a fun what-if question. Just something to change it up. I mean, how do you see the projection, pardon me, of Judgment Day throughout all of WWE, past their NXT invasion and what they're doing on the main roster to get back on topic? I mean, where do you see Judgment Day going besides just Damian Priest and Finn Balor, the tease of the split? Where else could they go with it?
There isn't really anywhere else, to be fair, where they could go with it. I can't see them going anywhere else, to be fair with you.
It's tough.
Yeah, maybe split it, because even Rhea's got no opponents, because obviously, unless she goes up against men, which would make her obviously like the next China kind of, but it's they've booked them so badly, really, that's why they're having to send them back down to NXT, because they haven't got the opponents to do it. And that, unless you obviously get a load of call-ups and stuff, or they swap them over to SmackDown again, then they go up against different factions and that, and maybe they go against the Bloodline again, or
that's valid.
Stuff like that. But whilst they're still together on Raw, they've gone through everybody. You've had the matches over and over again and that, and you can't they don't really have anyone else who they can face. Really?
Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Yeah, well, they're SmackDown now, aren't they, as well? So that's the problem.
Yeah, they're SmackDown. But we may see that happen. Role. Yeah, the wild card rule. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. What about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? Do we dare see Rhea Ripley and Dominic challenge them after that segment on Raw?
Oh, that could be funny if they do. That could be Rhea's next thing, couldn't it? It's like
they could make it entertaining, even if people are not fond of it. No disrespect to Rhea, but in that circumstance.
Problem is though Rhea wouldn't. Nobody would touch Rhea. That's the problem. They would all be touching Dominic, because none of the men would fight Rhea. Yeah, I don't think.
No, they'd have too much respect.
Yeah.
And that's what would make it hard. But yet, if you had the circumstance, because a lot of people are making the China comparisons, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of thinking of it. But hey, to move on from it, because you could go so many ways, even with these topics, with AEW, with NXT. But getting back to WWE news.
Actually, can I mention?
Yeah,
can I
mention something else. Yeah, feel free to interject.
So this was interesting last night. I know Xero didn't watch. Did you happen to watch Collision, Tyler?
I did not, but I heard about the tag team match.
Yes, great match. But actually, you should go watch that. But yes, what was I gonna say? Tony Storm versus Taya Valkyrie. So I thought it was just the problems in my area with the weather. Canada had inclement weather, and the feed cut out everywhere. So by the time it came back on, there was a commercial on, and then for whatever reason, you saw Julia Hart versus somebody in the ring. Then they cut that because something was wrong there. And next thing you know, they're on the main event, and it's like, wait, what just happened? So they had to go back and show the ending to Tony Storm versus Taya Valkyrie. Because nobody, unless you were in the crowd, nobody saw it.
See, I've got to go back and watch it. I've got it on the DVR, but I don't always get a chance to see it. But I heard about the tag team match, and I heard some good things about the Tony Storm Taya Valkyrie encounter. So very fascinating. Xero,
Tony Storm is great.
She is. Tony Storm is very talented. Xero, what are your thoughts on Collision? Do you see them maintaining the momentum so far?
Well, I don't watch it, so I don't know really.
No, hey,
you're lost.
So Bobby's happy. Hey,
CM Punk finally got a defeat. Cheating, but
I'm surprised at that.
Finally, and Ricky Starks is going heel now. It's clear that he should have been a heel the whole time. But hey, he won the Owen Hart Memorial. That's great. Willow won the women's Owen Hart, which I kind of was shocked. I thought that was Ruby's all the way, especially after losing in the finals last year. But hey. Yeah, well, they gave him the heels last year with Britt and Adam Cole. I don't know. Yeah, it was a little weird, but hey, maybe more for Ruby down the line. Maybe Ruby's the one to eventually take the title off Tony.
She may be.
Possibly. Well, you know what they're going to end up doing? It's probably Saraya, won't it? Probably take it.
That too, because they put themselves in an interesting predicament. Well, they didn't put themselves in it. I can't blame them. Stuff happens. So they made Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter official for Double or Nothing 2 months ago. Yeah. Hayter got hurt, and she's going to be out for a while. Whoever was in that match was going to take the belt off of her. So, and it just happened to be Tony Storm.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter who was in the match; they were taking that belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was time.
It was kind of awful, luck for Jamie Hayter. And Tyler, did you watch that match or no?
I did not get to see it. See, I got to get caught up because there's a lot. I didn't even get to watch SmackDown. Like I've stated previously, it's a lot of times what I see on Twitter or see highlights of.
They were very protective of Jamie Hayter in that match. Her music hit, and then she comes crawling out like she got attacked by the other girls. Then they place her in front of the steps. They kick her. And then she takes one move, match over. It was 3 minutes, but most of it was interference.
Incredible.
Because I was like, how are they going to get around this? Because she wasn't cleared until the day before. And it was they have to take this belt off of her. She can't. And they did.
It makes you wonder. But yeah, I love Jamie Hayter, what she's been able to do. But if she's injured, you do have to go a different direction. So, but you're making me want to watch Collision, though. So I wasn't going to. No offense, but now what you're saying is making me interested. I have to do it.
The 2 out of 3 falls match was really good. Credit where credit is due. I'm not a big fan of either of those guys, but again, credit where credit is due. Tony, you got to go watch how the feed cut out. What else happened? Punk and Starks, and then
the tag team match too.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Battle of the Belts as well. So, yeah,
there's so much. Yeah, it wasn't as good. Okay,
Orange. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Tony Storm was on Battle of the Belts. See, it all blurred together last night. Sorry, Tony Storm was on Collision. Tony Storm was Battle of the Belts. So if you want to see the outage, go watch Battle of the Belts.
Okay. Yeah, because it gets a little confusing because AEW's got so much going on, even getting rid of their YouTube content because you've got Collision, which can be a good problem because a lot of people like how it's paced. They like the commentary. They like how it feels different, but you got to be careful. It's not better than Dynamite, even though some people may make an argument. It's the way things are going. It could get there. So that's always very riveting. But anyways, no, anytime you guys have something else, please interrupt me. I love it because I don't want to forget anything or gloss over something. Xero, is there anything AEW related or any other promotions before we move on to some more WWE news? Please.
Not AEW related. No, obviously, I guess we could probably talk about Impact, about Trinity and that winning the belt. So
that was huge.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
The only Eric Young came back. That's all I know. So you two take this topic.
Well,
no,
I'll just react. I'll just react.
I only know a few bits and pieces from it. So Trinity obviously won the Knockouts Championship. They had a few returns, didn't they? I think this weekend, if I remember rightly.
They did. Jake something. I think he returned. He's been gone a while, and who else? I am forgetting.
Obviously, Eric Young.
Yeah, Eric Young.
Was it when I can't remember really. I don't think there was many.
It's all a blur, and it's amazing. I looked up the coverage, and I still can't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only 36, and this is ridiculous. I could watch a 5-star match or whatever the rating, and it's like, tell me what happened, what move, and I was ecstatic about it the night I watched it. Then it's like a blank, nothing.
Yeah.
And when somebody asked me.
Yeah,
so that's why I thank God I've got you guys. We got more people from Xero News, Bobby's Breakdowns, and more WrestleBuddy teammates because I need all the help I can get, obviously.
Yeah. That's what I can think of really. So
yeah, Trinity winning the title was big, and Jake something, but still Eric Young to me. Team Canada, that was nostalgia because I remember watching Impact back when it was TNA Impact, and that was one of the staples. Scott D'Amore, Eric Young, Petey Williams, and Bobby Roode. Yeah, he was a part of it.
I'm bringing up the results now.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. There was new women's tag team champions too. I forgot about that. It was Killer Kelly and how do you say it? Masha Slamovich. Is that the right pronunciation? Something like that. At least close enough. I never can pronounce these names. So pardon me.
Kylan King. Cool.
Oh, she is fantastic, man. I've seen her in the independent circuit. Just
and
a
AEW,
great talent. Yeah, AEW, and she's awesome.
Scott D'Amore and Eric Young defeat. Isn't that the owner of Impact?
Yeah, Scott D'Amore.
Yeah.
Man.
Leo Rush defeated Chris Sabin. Now it's coming back to me. Yeah, Leo Rush is
Rush?
Yeah, new X Division champion. He beat Sabin.
Didn't he retire?
I thought he did. But does anybody actually retire in wrestling?
He always says that he retires and comes back. That's the thing. He's constantly retiring and coming back.
Or he gets aggravated. Yeah, he gets aggravated, and then wait a minute, there's an opportunity. Let me try that.
It's
Eddie
ridiculous.
Edwards.
Yeah.
Why does that sound like a super? Why does that sound like a
he's
superhero alter ego?
He's still around, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around a long time, and I think what happened? Did he defeat Frankie Kazarian? I don't mean to make this just an Impact results show, but it's
he did.
I mean, it's very vital because they deserve respect. Pardon me.
Yeah. Alex Shelley. Wait, Alex Shelley. Oh, that's one of the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, did you? Yeah.
Yeah, he faced Nick Aldis and retained last night.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm a big proponent of Nick Aldis. I mean, he's got it all. It's
wow.
I just don't understand. Maybe it's his choice because I've read interviews where he's been offered maybe to go to WWE or somewhere else, but he always stayed true to NWA. Then when he had the disagreements with Corrigan, then he ends up back at Impact where he was before as Magnus.
I think it was issues like backstage politics and stuff. I believe that's what it was. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe it's backstage politics. A lot of them don't want to work under Vince.
I think that's why Eric Young got released. And to Bobby's point, I did not realize that Eric Young was even out of WWE. Then when he shows up, it's like, wow, this is quite the move here.
Yeah. My buddy messaged me about Eric Young debuting. I'm like, didn't he sign with WWE? They were like, he got released. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. He literally done some voiceovers for a couple of video packages, and that was it. And then, yeah, he never actually appeared on TV once, and then got released because he refused to work with Vince. So
that's what I saw. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, no disrespect to even to Vince or Eric Young, but a lot of people they feel better under Triple H. They just, like I stated, I think you guys agree. Going back to NXT, just how Triple H treats talent, I think there's just a comfort level.
Yeah,
and, But hey, anything else concerning Impact or maybe some other promotions before we move on to our last topic? Because they'll be kind of a two-parter, really.
I got one AEW thing. Back to AEW. Apparently, allegedly, I'm not sure if this is true. Not sure if it was part of the show. They were at Triple Mania. I want to say it was last night or maybe Friday night.
I think it was. It was sometime this weekend.
Okay, and it was Omega versus Vikingo, I want to say.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, that guy. The crazy guy that does all the flips. He's really good. Apparently Takeshita got involved after the match, was beating up Omega. Callis got involved and was beating up Omega, and somebody legitimately attacked Don Callis, like a fan, tried to bring him down.
There's video on it. Somebody's commented on Brian Alvarez's thingy.
Yeah, a fan brought him down to the ground, and it was it got a little dangerous because he took him down from the back. So if his knee goes the wrong way, it's not good. He looked fine. I'm not sure, but little.
It's reverting back to the territory days a little bit. I forgot how hostile some of the fans can be in different countries even. But poor Don Callis.
I watch AEW every single week. Don Callis is a hated man.
I mean, he's doing something right. I mean, he's definitely a heat magnet. I mean, he is. Exactly. I mean, Don Callis has always been able to talk. Hey, speaking of Callis, we got some big news. I guess another AEW story before we go back to WWE. Pac has returned. We've got Kota Ibushi for Blood and Guts. I mean, Xero, Bobby, who wants to take it? Share your initial thoughts on all of this.
As well, because I won't be watching it. So probably
okay. So I need to go to Bobby.
Yeah, you can come out of this one.
I was trying to figure out who the fifth man of the BCC was. I was reading rumors about the fifth man of the Elite, and I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not a New Japan guy, so But when Pac showed up, I was like, wow. I was like, you could have given me a few guesses, and I don't think I would have guessed Pac, because the history is there with Omega. And when was the last time we saw him? January?
It's been a long time.
He's been injured, and I was like, hey man, good. I think Pac would do some good things in Blood and Guts because Pac's a freak athlete. So, and he's got history with Paige. He's got history with all. Well, I'm not sure about Kota Ibushi, but he does have history with every single member of the Elite outside of Kota Ibushi. So it's a good play, and I don't know if you guys know that CM Punk pitched to be the fifth member of both teams.
I did not know, but
he offered his services to the BCC. They said no. Then he goes, all right, I'll join the Elite, and they were like, no.
I didn't see that working out if he wanted to join the Elite or the other group.
I think he's willing to play ball because he knows this is his last chance. I think he knows that too, and I think he's be like, yeah, I'll work with them if they're willing to have me. And if they're on the same team, he can't really hurt you. Well, he could, but that stages for a brawl again. I don't know. I think he knows what he's doing, trying to pitch himself in, but they just won't take it.
Yeah. And also back to the Pac Omega story. We need to compliment AEW. Sometimes I've been critical of how they lay out their stories, but that was actually nicely done because there was history. It made sense. It wasn't off base.
And you know what? It took me a little bit. I'm like, what history is there with Omega and Pac? And then I went, oh yeah, All Out 2019. They had that best 2 out of 3 falls match right before the pandemic. And then the best of 7 with Death Triangle and the Elite. So I was like, okay, I'm in. Because Pac and Omega, their matches have been great.
Oh, they can tear down the house, no doubt. And
I'm all for it. I'm excited for Blood and Guts because, like, I'm not super excited about the guys in it, but with the cage, and if you can get one guy like Pac to do something crazy, or the Jacksons, I'm all for it.
See, and isn't it interesting that we're talking about AEW becoming PG and Move's banned, and now what are they going to be able to do with this Blood and Guts setup?
Yeah, what was it? Was it Matt Jackson? He did an exploding super kick. Like, how are you going to do that when it's PG?
That's what I'm also thinking as well. Xero, any thoughts to add at least on what it's going to do to this recent ban with Blood and Guts coming up? The way the matches are gimmicked.
It's not going to be great. I don't think it's going to be great. It's going to be very, very WWE-esque, as I would say. They ain't going to be able to do too much. You're not going to be able to have any blood at all on there, which is going to have a lot of people going, I don't really want to watch this anymore for it, which I don't blame them, really, if you ask me, because what's the point? What's the point in basically doing it if they're not going to be able to?
Yeah, you can overdo it.
No point, really, is it? Yeah, there's no point at all, really, is there? So, yeah, really.
Yeah, all good stuff, gentlemen. And we're going to move back. Speaking of WWE, a nice transition by Xero and stuff to some Bloodline, and then we'll get to Grayson Waller and The Rock. I know Zero's got something he wants to share concerning it. But who's turning on Jay? Sportskeeda recently released a report. A lot of the fans are speculating it could be Jimmy, even though people are probably going to scratch their heads. But also, I wanted to add too, gentlemen, who's likely to turn on Roman? Because that's coming down the road. Maybe not at SummerSlam, but that's also something we could discuss. So, Bobby, I'm going to come to you. Who do you think the culprit's going to be? Who's turning on Jay?
Oh, who's turning on Jay? So, I'll get to Jay in a minute. I wanted to say something on a rumor I read, and this was so out of left field because I read the article, and I don't know if it was clickbait or whatnot. I don't even remember who it was from, but they were like, somebody who hasn't been on SmackDown in 15 months could help Roman Reigns, and the only name that popped into my head was Randy Orton, because it's been like 15 months. So I'm like, all right, let me open this article, see what they're saying. It wasn't Randy Orton. This man has been around. He just hasn't been on SmackDown in 15 months. They said Apollo Crews could help Roman Reigns.
That's random.
Yeah, I would not expect Apollo Crews' name to be mentioned. No disrespect.
Apparently, they had a segment a few years ago, and Roman was like chatting him up. Or maybe it was a year ago. Maybe it was earlier this year. I don't even remember. But, 15 months. It had to have been last year, at least. Yeah, I was like, as soon as I saw Apollo's name, I'm like, click, I'm done. I don't even want to, why? But I think the Jimmy thing is so complicated. But, who else is going to turn on Jimmy? Or does Roman beat him clean? Not clean, but
where there's not at least too much interference. And also, to me, Solo could turn on Roman at some point, maybe even afterward.
Everybody turns on Roman. Roman doesn't turn on anybody.
True.
Remember that.
Xero,
Yeah.
No, continue.
The only time Roman has turned on somebody, it was part of the plan when he turned on Heyman.
Right.
So,
to get at Brock.
Yeah.
And Xero, this is all just fascinating. I mean, what are your take on possibly a turn on Jay? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Jimmy or somebody else?
I can possibly see Jimmy, but the whole thing is, I was going to drop this one out there as a bit of a thing. What's to say that one of them obviously doesn't, when they're saying about a turn, what about a heel to face turn? That's counted down as a turn, really, because it's not anybody turning on them. When they're saying, oh yeah, this person could turn or whatever, is that because there's a lot of rumors going around at the moment that they're going to turn Roman face again, but he's going to have he's still going to be champion, but he's going to be a face champion just to see how they perceive him and just to see sort of how the fans will take him. for a little bit, and then how he'll do it is he'll start winning matches with no interference. You know, he will actually start beating people clean, and that to obviously then get that sort of face turn and that done. And that, you know, there was talks of him doing that for it, and then turning other people heel who he goes up against. So, for example, if he goes up against Jay, turning Jay heel and splitting them up. And there's also something interesting that if he does face Cody at WrestleMania 40, they were going to have Roman beat Cody clean again at Mania 40 and turn Cody heel, so Cody can actually have a heel run in WWE for a little bit, just to obviously see how they perceive it with the roles reversed for it. And that was, you know, sorry.
No, part of me not mean to interrupt that. I think just getting excited, just the what ifs, and like you were saying, a lot of twists and turns with this bloodline storyline. Also, gentlemen, is it possible Solo could end up being the leader, the tribal chief, instead of Jimmy or Jay over Roman at some point?
Oh yes, definitely. I can see Solo being the one to finally take the belts off Roman. That's going to be the way it's going to go down. Yeah, that would be wild. I reckon that'll be the route they're going to go down. Everyone thinks it's going to be Jay and that doing it. I can personally see it's going to be Solo. That's in my eyes, it's going to be Solo. That's what it'll be. They'll keep building it up, and then finally Solo will turn on Roman, and bang, there we go. You've got your turn there, and Solo takes the belts off him for it, and Solo then leads the bloodline instead, or Solo becomes the tribal chief instead. Then,
yeah, Bobby. Yeah, I mean, what's your take?
I mean, Jay is not beating Roman at SummerSlam, that's for sure. No. But Solo beating him would be an interesting one, because why not? But what, you have Solo win the Rumble and then beat Roman Reigns?
Could do, yeah. But also as well, we're forgetting one major person in all of this about who could turn on Roman.
Paul Heyman,
yeah. Paul Heyman could easily turn, couldn't he? There's nothing there to say, because there was an interesting rumor going round, and this is something else that I'll bring up actually whilst we're on this talk, is, you know, that obviously they've been carrying the WWE title belt out there. This is just fan speculation, and that if you notice, Paul Heyman now is always carrying the WWE Championship, and on that title is Brock's side plate still, and there's rumors going around at the moment that potentially the reason why they've got Brock attacking Cody is on the command of Heyman still. So Heyman's obviously trying to get Cody destroyed so he doesn't come anywhere near Roman, and moves the focus off there. So what's to say that maybe Heyman doesn't, you know, turn around, turn on Roman in time again and bring back the Beast again, and he teams back at Brock, and Brock's finally one of the ones to they rerun Brock and Roman again. Yes, it'll be about the 50th time, but it was still a good match when they done it, wasn't it? If you think about it. So
I could see that happening, and I mean, Bobby,
I don't want Roman Brock again. I really don't. 3 WrestleManias and however else many times they.
Well, SummerSlam too last year. Yeah. I happened to be there like Chris. I live near Nashville, so I had to try to check that one out.
I mean, 3 WrestleManias, a SummerSlam, a Crown Jewel. I'm good on Roman Brock for a long time, forever, quite frankly. Yeah, I wish they would explain this Brock thing, why he keeps attacking Cody, because I feel like it was a simple fix. You could just have you could just have Heyman pay off Brock to attack Cody. I don't know. Yeah. It's just a simple, Brock likes money. That's a simple fix. But I don't know. They just never explained it, why he did it.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I think maybe that rumor is a bit more than a rumor, that maybe they are going to go down that route, and Heyman has been getting involved with it all, and that's why he's sort of giving these little teases out of Brock's side plates still on the title, which he carries around with him now. Really, it's just something that obviously I read into it.
No, I mean, it is. I agree with you both. And what if it's been Heyman pulling the strings all along? I mean, you could already see it. Maybe he's the guy over the bloodline. It's not Roman like we think. Roman may think he is manipulating everybody, but it's actually Heyman.
Yeah. Let Paul Heyman dethrone Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he took the super kick. Yeah.
The swerve. It will be the swerve of the century. Nobody will see it coming. Paul Heyman, boom.
He's already carrying around all the titles anyway, so he might as well. It made no difference, you know. He just needs that third belt now.
I always enjoy how he tells Jay he loves him. That's a great heel move after he blamed him for what happened to Jimmy. I did catch a highlight of what occurred on SmackDown. Just, I mean, the body language and everything. Just Paul Heyman is a master. So just good stuff. And hey, speaking of the bloodline, one of their relatives, The Rock, Grayson Waller, calling out The Rock. I'm going to start with Xero first, and then I'll get to you, Bobby, because you've got some news regarding this whole situation. What are you thinking?
What's to say that The Rock doesn't show up in some capacity on Friday? Because Grayson Waller has invited him to SmackDown. Now, he might not be there in person, but there's always video packages. There's always, live satellite or whatever and stuff. And as Bobby even brought up the other day, I do believe it was Bobby, they're on a shutdown now. He's got no films to do. He can't do anything. So, he's about now for a little while, isn't he? If you think about it. And he's also got to gain back a lot of reputation because he's lost a lot from XFL stuff at the moment. Obviously, Young Rock got cancelled. Black Adam was a flop and everything like that. And yeah, there's a small little rumor going around that I'm hearing is that there's talks within creative that Dwayne might show up in some capacity at some point soon in relation to Waller, whether that's by a video package, whether that's in ring, whether that's whatever and that. But there's talks. His name's being mentioned backstage and that, and not just for Waller. It could potentially be for Roman and everything like that as well, whilst he's got some free time. So I mean, yeah, that's some news there. But his name is being spoken about, but nothing's locked in, nothing's confirmed yet for it all. But I see Bobby was wanting to say something then on that subject.
I'll believe it when I see it. I've been down this road so many times with The Rock. And you know what? I haven't missed SmackDown in 2 weeks, and of course, the first SmackDown I will miss, he's going to come back. But technically, he can still work during the strike. Directors aren't on strike, so he can. Now, how much he would be able to get done with being a director and having no actors, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if The Rock just said, I have some time off. This is cool.
The reason is why this is being brought up as well is if you think about it, Grayson Waller's had the rub recently from who? John Cena, legend. Edge, yes. Legend. The ultimate perfect one now to put him over completely would be Dwayne Johnson just showing up, doing a segment with him. Heck, even at SummerSlam. If you're not going to do it on a random SmackDown, have him show up at SummerSlam. And that place would literally explode if you heard it, if you smell, basically.
So you're saying save the segment for even SummerSlam if they don't do it for SmackDown. It doesn't even have to have a match. Just do the Grayson Waller effect with The Rock.
Do the Grayson Waller effect in that, and then potentially Waller just keeps calling him out because, of course, they've been having this to and fro on SmackDown. They've got a couple of weeks to build to it. Maybe Rock can say something about it, and then Waller turns around and announces a Grayson Waller effect for SummerSlam or whatever, and that comes out, does that one, then he says, oh yeah, I'm just going to come out and start bad mouthing The Rock again. Rock's music hits, bang, done. Like the John Cena segment,
I like it.
That could work well.
I won't hold my breath.
You're not watching SummerSlam anyway, are you? You're not about for SummerSlam.
No, I am. We're trying to get the bar to put it on, first of all.
Yeah.
But if we can't, we'll just watch it on my buddy's laptop at the bar.
Fair enough.
Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way, right? And
we'll find a way. I think if I could, I'm trying to convince them, hey, I'll sign into my Peacock account. You guys don't have to pay for it. Just put it on one of your TVs. They have wrestling fans at these conventions. You have MJF coming to your convention. So clearly there's a need for wrestlers.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'll keep y'all updated.
No, please do. Keep us updated. We want to hear what happens next. And also, hey, for Rock to respond to Grayson too, I mean, that's adding more legitimacy too, even if it is a tease and he doesn't show up. I mean, it's still establishing him. I mean, not to say you just do it on social media, but especially in today's modern era. I mean, am I off base there?
No, not at all. No, I completely agree. Even if he can't show up because of like commitments or anything like that, yeah, even a like what you said, even a social media shout out and a to and fro on social media helps, because that is, everyone uses social media now, so that probably gets seen more than a weekly show at the end of the day. If you think about it.
No, very true. Just due to the magnitude of The Rock being who he is and Grayson Waller, but you're so true. It doesn't surprise me, because I'm also hearing that like you're saying, Xero, with creative, and I'm sure you have too, Bobby, where backstage the officials are high on Grayson Waller. They've been impressed since he's been on the main roster.
Yeah, I hear that, but I also see him getting pinned in a fatal 4-way. So I don't know. Him losing to Edge is one thing, that's fine, but him being pinned in a fatal 4-way is weird, because like you could easily have, who were the other two in the match? Was it Butch and
I'm trying to think too, because
it was.
Is Sheamus involved?
No, he's in next week's fatal 4-way.
Hang on.
It was Waller, Santos, Butch.
Yeah, you guys would know, because like I said, I did not get a chance to watch SmackDown, so I'm just kind of freestyling.
I got
just
3
whoever.
out of 4.
Hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. I'm just literally just loading into the results, because I've got them here. Hang on.
No, take your time.
It was AJ Styles. So it was AJ Styles, Santos Escobar, Butch, and Grayson Waller.
AJ ran out for the cross thing. So you're telling me Butch couldn't have taken the pin? I don't know.
They're trying to build him up, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah.
He's done. So.
Yeah, true, but it's like, I don't know. Whatever.
Well, and with those type of matches, it's got to be a little more complicated, even though I see what both of you are saying, just the stipulation or the way they're featuring them, positioning them, in other words, with a fatal 4-way type ordeal. I mean, it can get a little tricky, but yeah, it's tough though, because you think, oh, it's not going to hurt this guy. But a lot of times the losses sometimes can build you up. I think, at the same time, wins are not always everything, but it does help you.
Again, going back to what you were just saying there, look at LA Knight. He took loss after loss after loss in that, and now he's he's one of the biggest sort of names out there at the moment, and he's built himself up, and he's a massive fan favorite.
Yeah, but we like LA Knight taking losses.
See, Bobby, I was going to say that's another one of your favorites, right?
I'm speaking for the entire WrestleBuddy here. We like when LA Knight loses. I can promise you that.
So you speak for all of us now? I mean, as much as I like you,
I'm the LA Knight thing. Everything else is your.
Okay, so.
But I have to force my LA Knight thing.
You have to. Sorry. We have to acknowledge you, essentially.
Yeah, there you go. Put up the one. There you go.
Well, I'm not. I like you, but I'm not. Hey, we got to know each other more. It's still kind of a new process, so I'm not going to back down. Hey, just because I'm enjoying myself. This is fun. Man. I mean, Xero's kind of feeling my pain now, because now even WrestleBuddy's feeling the wrath of Bobby with CM Punk and LA Knight and whoever else he may not appreciate.
It had to come eventually. Zero's been acknowledging me for about 2 years.
Oh, has he?
No,
he just doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know this. When did this happen?
I let him say all that, but
it's okay.
It's okay.
But, But no, like I was saying anyway, Grayson Waller taking the losses will build him up, and that you can potentially build him up from the losses, because he could do that whole thing where he's taking losses and that, and then heck, he gets a major win against somebody big for it. If they do have a match against The Rock, for example, maybe he beats The Rock. That would be one hell of a comeback. That would be taking all these losses, and then if he does face Rock and he pins Rock, wow, that's a big win for it.
Yeah,
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I know.
If Rock is coming back, he's got to come back for Roman Reigns. He's not coming back for Grayson Waller.
Yeah,
I would like to see Reigns and Rock.
Yeah, and it was so funny. I saw somebody tweeted at The Rock because he was responding to Waller, and they were like, "Bro, your cousins are in a major war right now with each other, and your daughter's in a cult, and this is what you care about."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, man. Why are you worrying about Waller? Like,
Yeah,
I think you
yeah,
shared
they
that
were
in the
like,
group chat, Bobby, and that was perfect.
Yeah,
I mean, that
yeah,
fan
that
was onto something.
hilarious.
Oh God! Imagine Dwayne showing up on NXT to try and sort out Ava, try and pull Ava out of the thingy. That place would go wild. Those ratings would be through the roof. If
Dude, all
he showed up
all
on
those 500 fans.
yeah.
I mean, you probably have fans even on the outside that didn't pay that just wanted to be near, you know,
Yeah.
if The Rock was going to be anywhere close.
Yeah, but no, that'd be quite funny. But no, yeah, that's my take on all that really from it.
Yeah.
So.
Now, is there anything else, gentlemen, before we wrap up?
We mentioned Waller. We mentioned AEW. SummerSlam's in what, 3 weeks? A little under 3 weeks.
I think so.
It's getting
As of
very
recording,
close
we're like 20 days out.
because it's August 5th, right?
Yeah, August 5th. Let me look it up. I'm pretty sure it's 3 weeks from yesterday. We're recording on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right.
1, 2. Yep, 3 weeks from yesterday. So
That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It just felt like Money in the Bank was yesterday. It was 2 weeks ago.
Exactly, and it felt like SummerSlam last year was just not too long ago either. And here we are.
SummerSlam last year though was done by this time because it was in July last year.
It was. It was July 30th.
It was. I remember the date. It was July 30th.
Yeah.
It was the day I came back from vacation.
Yeah, because it was in July last year, wasn't it? So that's probably why it feels like weird.
Right.
And that was a wild time because Brock walked out. They were trying to get Goldberg.
Yeah.
And what a time. Triple H was just coming in to take over. I think Vince resigned like around this time last year.
No, he did.
Yeah, because it was like 10 days before SummerSlam, and then if SummerSlam was July 30th, it's Sunday the 16th. It's about that time. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we're almost there.
He claimed he stepped down, but we all know he didn't. So we all know he's still there, really. Right.
Yeah, Vince has got to be there. I mean, it's hard even if he wants to say, "Oh, Triple H, you can have it." Okay, I want this. All right, good stuff, pal. Okay, he's got to be there. So.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to see where I should bring it up. I don't know when it was. 22nd of July, actually, he was hired on. So I've just found a tweet. Yeah,
22nd of July. 22nd
so
July. Today's the 16th, so next Saturday will be the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah. I wanted to inform you all that I will be returning. That was a tease. I am stepping down. Yeah.
Yeah. I woke up and my one chat was just going berserk, and I'm like, "What happened?" And all I saw was Vince resigned. I'm like, "Whoa!" And then I still remember the first, what was it? When he made his first appearance on SmackDown after everything came to light. And my mother is not a wrestling fan by any means, but she knows who he is. I'm like, Mom, you might want to watch this. He's in some trouble right now, so we're watching. All he does is then, now, together, forever, tosses the mic, and I'm like, that was it? And my mom's like, really? You had me watch that? I'm like, I thought he was going to say more.
You know why, though? Do you guys think he was just coming out there to stick it to everybody? I mean, because that's Vince, man. That's how he always has been.
Didn't he get backstage and said F him?
He probably did.
I'm pretty sure I remember hearing that.
Yeah, he did.
Vince can't be touched at this point.
I mean, it's really unbelievable. He survived the steroid trial. I mean, people have been out for him. Yeah,
the government couldn't even get him.
No.
Yeah, well, I don't know. People might be able to get him now because that excellent lawyer that they always use, that Jerry McDevitt, he stepped down. He's retiring now, so.
Yeah, but they'll hire the next great guy.
Yeah, they'll have somebody in there. Vince will never lose. He'll win anything.
He's always going to find a way, whether you like him or not. I definitely respect his contributions, and I actually didn't mind him in the 80s and 90s during the Attitude Era, but people have just claimed, his creative just has kind of been very different once he got to a certain level or certain decade, and they were kind of conflicting. That's just, opinions. That's all what we're doing. So,
well, when it went PG, that's when it went PG. That's when it went downhill. After the Attitude Era, when it turned into PG, that's when it went downhill for me.
Yeah, because Ruthless Aggression was great when Lesnar and Angle and Cena first debuted. I mean, it was awesome.
There's a certain unmentionable name that he did something very, very bad, and yeah, that I won't say his name, but I'm sure you guys can figure out who I'm speaking about. He's not around anymore. Yeah, he did that, and then WWE went PG, and ever since then, I think.
Yeah,
that's what changed.
Again, I'm sure you guys can figure out who I'm speaking about, but I won't say his name just for general reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, this could be for another podcast, really. I mean, if you wanted to go more in a deeper form. But
his son was on Collision last night. His son was front row at Collision.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I'm following now. It took me a little bit to think, but
I didn't see the caption, and I just saw him, and he looks exactly like his father.
Yeah.
And at first, I was like, I'm sorry, who is front row? And then I read it. I'm like, oh. Because at fast glance, I saw you-know-who.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on a minute.
There was a resemblance.
Yeah, it's like, come back.
I'm like, I got questions.
Yeah.
It's wrestling, not definitely a very bizarre yet unique form of entertainment, yet we love it. I mean, for that very reason. I mean, when you stop to think about it.
I just keep coming back.
I do too. Even when I get mad at them, or go ahead, Xero.
That'll be the next cup that Tony Khan will do. The Chris Benoit Cup.
We're not supposed to mention his name, Xero.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be the next one, won't it? They'll sign David, and then they'll do a cup for him, basically. So
the name,
a tournament or something.
The name redacted cup.
Yeah, that'll be the next one.
Where else can you find a show that somebody plummeted to their death and the show just went on after?
I always had a problem, as much as I like WWE, but that was always my issue. Why not stop the show? Nothing is more important than what just happened.
Did you ever hear Jonathan Coachman's take on that? He was there.
No, I didn't.
So he was interviewed by Chris Van Vliet, I believe it was, and he was there over the limit I don't remember the year, 99, 98?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So they watch him fall, and some people are like, "Is this a part of the show?" And they're trying to give Owen CPR on the floor, and Coach just happened to talk to a guy behind him who was a doctor, and he's like, "What do you think? Is this real?" He goes, "If this isn't real, that's the worst CPR I've ever seen in my life trying to revive somebody." That's what they said. They said it was that bad. Like,
wow.
Like the doctor even knew. It's like, if this isn't part of the show, it's over. He's dead.
Yeah, he knew it was legit.
Yeah. Crazy times. Yeah. I don't know how we got on this topic.
I don't know either. I mean, it's just part of it. Yeah, it's what happens. That's what people can expect with this program, no matter who's on it. You never know where the conversation's going to turn. But, I mean, anything else to insert? I'll say it again, because I'm sure we can, but...
I don't have anything. Collision's coming to New Jersey next week. I'm not going, but... Yeah, it's about like 40 minutes from my house, so that should be fun. Those crowds are always rowdy. I'll be interested to see what they do with CM Punk, because the last time they were in New Jersey at Full Gear, FCM Punk chants broke out. So I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild one for sure. Hey, I know something else we can add. How about we plug where we can find Bobby's breakdowns and Xero?
Yes. There you go. I knew it. I was like, wait a minute. There we go.
That's the buttons for it.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Subscribe and hit that like button.
It's so funny nowadays. I just go to like these random places and I'm like, hey, you got the YouTube app? They're like, yeah, why? Pull it up. And I'll type in my name, subscribe, and I'm like, hey, thank you.
Hey, why not?
Yeah. That's how you get all these subscribers then.
Self-promotion, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
I actually just ordered 100 magnets with my logo on it, and I'm going to hand them out at the convention I'm going to in a couple weeks.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
You know,
smart marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, why not?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Well, for me anyway as well, it's you can go on Twitter, it's @NewsZero. On the website now as well, where most stuff's going through now at zeronews.co.uk. Yeah, that's basically where all my stuff's going on to.
They let anybody write for that site, folks. I can confirm.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Bobby
anybody.
writes stuff that says something.
Yeah, I write a fair amount, so I can confirm they let anybody just write.
And please like, follow, and subscribe, of course, to WrestleBuddy.com.
Yeah.
We're doing some great work, and of course, like Xero News and Bobby here, just tremendous gentlemen. It's always a pleasure. For episode 5 of Let Us Talk to You, yeah, this will do it. We're saying farewell for now.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.